Hello and welcome back to the channel. It's Demetrius. In today's episode, we will be watching a complete IELTS mock speaking test, and watch all the way to the end, because at the end you will find the idioms that you'll need to get a higher score, a 7 or better, on your IELTS speaking test. So without further ado, let's get started.
Now, let's talk about your hometown. Can you tell me about the place where you grew up?
Well, let me paint you a picture. I grew up in a small, tightly knit town nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river.
Could you describe your hometown to me?
Sure, my hometown is a far cry from the bustling cities most people are used to. It's quiet, peaceful, and everyone knows each other.
Let's move on to talk about social media. Do people in your country often use social media?
Yes, people in my country are hooked on social media.
What kinds of social media platforms are popular among people in your community?
The usual suspects like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are very popular.
How do people usually interact with each other on social media?
People often touch base by liking posts, commenting, and sharing updates.
In your opinion, how has social media changed the way people communicate with each other?
Social media has bridged the gap between people, making communication much faster and easier.
Now let's move on to talk about public transportation. Do people in your hometown often use public transport?
Yes, many people rely on public transport for their daily commute.
What kinds of public transport do people usually prefer in your country?
Most people hop on the bus or train to get to work or school.
Have you noticed any changes in how people use public transport over the past few years?
Yes, there has been a shift towards more environmentally friendly options like electric buses and bikes.
Now I'm going to give you a topic. You will have 1 minute to make some notes, and you will speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Here is some paper and a pencil for making notes, and here is your topic. I want you to describe a person who has influenced you.
I'd like to talk about my high school teacher, Mrs. Johnson, who's been a guiding light in my life. I met her when I was green as grass, just starting out in high school. She taught history, but she didn't just teach dates and events, she brought history to life. Mrs. Johnson always went the extra mile to make sure her students understood the lessons. She didn't just spoon-feed us information, she encouraged us to think outside the box and dig deeper. She was tough as nails when it came to expectations, but she was also a shoulder to cry on when we needed support. She's influenced my life in more ways than one. She opened my eyes to the world around me, helping me understand different cultures and perspectives. She instilled in me a love for learning that's stayed with me ever since. She also taught me to stand on my own 2 feet, encouraging independence and critical thinking. Even now, when I'm in a pickle, I think, what would Mrs. Johnson do? She's truly been a force to be reckoned with in my life, and I'm forever in her debt for her guidance and influence.
Thank you. May I have the pencil and the paper and the booklet back, please? We've been talking about an influential person, and now I'm going to ask you a few more general questions related to this. First of all, what qualities does Mrs. Johnson have that you would like to develop?
She has a knack for making people feel at ease, and I'd love to get the hang of that too. Plus, she's always ahead of the curve, which is something I'd like to catch up on.
How has this person's influence changed your perspective on life?
She has really shown me that there's more than one way to skin a cat, and now I look at things through a different lens. She has also taught me that it's okay to let my hair down once in a while.
In what ways do you hope to influence others?
I hope to lead by example and light a fire under people to pursue their passions. I want to help them see the light and inspire them to reach for the stars.
Do you think influential people have certain characteristics in common? Why or why not?
Yes, I think they do. They often think outside the box and have a way with words. They also walk the talk and keep their ears to the ground. Plus, they never rest on their laurels.
Thank you very much. This is the end of the speaking test.
Thank you for watching all the way to the end. And don't forget to comment below if you liked this format and you would like to see more mock speaking tests with idioms. See you next time.